Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Cultivate Your Squad Challenge. As always, I am your hostess, Mariah Young, the CEO of Gals. Actually, I shouldn't say as always because we're going to be getting Patty Lynn on here too. But hello, woohoo, welcome. All right, I'm so glad you're here. You made it through day 3, which is the hardest day. So I wanted to celebrate with some fun glasses and my tiara. I also, just in case, happened to also grab my other glasses because, got to kind of keep it fun. So here's my other ones. Yep, pink and pretty. There we go. And hearts, of course, too. Guys, this is a part of my personal brand, which is something we talk about in this next topic. We're not going to cover it today because, goodness gracious, there's so much to cover. It could take hours. So we're going to keep it down to a minimum. But thank you for joining me again today. I'm super excited to dive into this next topic. All of the topics, I would say, are my favorite because I know what they will bring to you if you do them. And even yesterday's topic, that was difficult. And thank you to those who reached out to me and wanted to talk through this. That was awesome. I love it. That's exactly what I want you to do. So that was excellent. I love it. So we had some great conversations around this, some things that, were some clarification and just what if I have this? What if I don't have that? Beautiful questions. I absolutely love it. And of course, I'm getting my phone ready so I can see any comments. And there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and present. I'm going to go right into presenter mode so that we can make sure that I am sharing with you. Here we go. Having a technical difficulty for a second there. All right. Oh, and it looks like we skipped right to the second one. So as I said, welcome back to the Cultivate Your Squad Challenge. I saw this young lady's sunglasses and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to put my sunglasses on. And so that's why I have them on. Now I am going to take them off because I do know that there's a glare when I'm on camera and I don't want to do that to you guys. So today we are diving into the Discover Yourself, which is a part of the Signature Self process, which also Cultivate Your Squad is a part of as well. So let's dive right in. Hi, Becky. So good to see you here today. Yay. I know you've been so busy. So as I said, today's topic is design your ideal life. And this is so much fun. Guys, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. So here we go. I'm not going to go into a whole lot yet because I want to just jump ahead. We're going to go into story time, of course. I like to keep my challenges consistent so you guys know what's coming and you're not surprised, although I do have a surprise for you today, so I'm very excited. All right, so remember that I shared before my depression journey, healing through trauma, discovering things about myself, having some time of exploration and who the heck am I? What do I like? Has anybody else been there? I hope that these stories have resonated with you guys because the truth is it's just my story. And I know I'm not alone. I know others have gone through this as well. So here's where the fun part comes in. You do this work, you learn more about yourself, you explore, and that can be really fun. It can also be a little scary because sometimes you got to push yourself out of your comfort zone. At the time when I was struggling, I actually thought I was extremely introverted because I was self-sabotaging and things like that. I really didn't even know who I was. And so pushing myself to do things that I knew felt more correct. Like if I look back at my childhood, if I look back at my past, I knew I was much more outgoing than I was being. So sometimes it can push you. But once I learned that I got to be in charge of my life, I explored, I did some healing. And like I said, this was not a linear thing. It was like this and up and down and over and around and all over the place, right? But as I was doing this work and as I started to learn that I get to decide what my story is going to look like moving forward, it changed everything. So taking my personality, of course, into account, taking my dreams, my goals, my desires, really. I mean, I even had some silly desires like I wanted to be the couple at the cafe when my husband and I got older that was sitting at the cafe drinking coffee together, people watching, talking to people, being interactive. And so it was a silly thing, but that's one of my goals in life. We also like being porch people. Like we love sitting on our porch with a drink, a coffee, a tea, whatever, and just hanging out, waving to all of our neighbors. They probably think we're crazy, but we love it. We love it so much. And we love having our dog with us wherever we go. So it's like, doesn't have to be huge desires. It can be, but it also can just be things like getting to go to the beach all the time. Now I know Becky's on here, and that's why I said that one, because I know she loves going to the beach and goes, often. And that's, probably one of her things. I don't know. Is it, Becky? I'd love to know if it is. So, taking all of that stuff into consideration, my lifestyle, each life stage is different. What I wanted when I had little kids is a bit different than what I want as an empty nester. So you have to take all of that into consideration. But from there, I was able to start writing my story and making plans. So where do I want to be? I like, actually, I'm going to flip this. I wrote this one way, but I'm going to actually flip it. I like looking at the overall story. If I could wave a fairy wand today, I actually have a wand. I should have had that out. And I could wave that wand and grant you anything that you wanted in your life. Anything. Money didn't matter. Time doesn't matter. It's whatever you want. This is a wish, right? What would you want in your life? Now, this is a pretty broad question. You could just answer it very quickly and be like, well, I'd want a new car. Yes, the beach is your happy place. Yes, so soothing. I knew it. What you could just answer, oh, I want a new car, or I want a new house, or I want this or that. And it could be a very easy thing to answer, but I like to take it a little bit deeper. And I'm not going to do that right this second, but I have something for you to help you do that. But then you break it down. Okay, cool. This is kind of my overall umbrella dream. Like I said, silly things like getting to be a cafe couple and a porch couple and having our dog with us, and we want to travel and different things like that. I have these visions in my head of what that looks like. So I'm going to then flip it again and say, what does that look like in 1 year? What does that look like in 5 years, 10 years? What legacy do I want to leave? So there's a lot to think through. This is a really big thing. We're not going to go through all of this today. It would be way too much. We dive deeper into this in my signature self process, which we're going to be opening up in Gals. Super exciting. Along with Patty Lynn's Ignite Your Spark. So this is something that you can jump into if you want to dive deeper. However, today, what we're going to accomplish is getting you started on this journey. So whether you work with us or not, we're going to set you up in a beautiful way to make sure that you can get started on this journey yourself. All right. So let's remember that who you surround yourself with is who you become. So surround yourself with amazing women. There is nothing that I have seen keep people away from living their ideal life than surrounding yourself with people who do not support you. Drama, people who want to be competitive, people who are always pulling you down, sucking your energy, keeping you at a place where you are in survival rather than thriving. It's vital. It's absolutely vital. We only get one life to live, at least from what I believe. Maybe you believe something different. So awesome if you do. No judgment here. But in my book, I get one life to live, and I want it to be amazing. So I need women around me, my husband as well, my relationships, who are going to lift me up. It's so vital, so vital. But I'm going to ask you right now, as we have this pulled up, who are some women in your life who have helped you to live your ideal life? Who has lifted you up? Who has empowered you? Who has helped you or just even supported you, been there for you? Make sure you put them in the comments, whether you're watching on the replay or you're watching right now. I'd love to hear who those women are. Let's lift them up too. All right. And our goal, which we're almost done, we're on day 4. We're like right at almost the finish line. I can't even believe it. Today, let's look at our goals, and we are bringing it all together tomorrow. It's got the Cultivate Your Squad is our focus tomorrow. But this week, our goal has been to stop living the story that somebody else is narrating for you. All of us have done it. We've all been there, just kind of going with the flow of life and maybe living to the expectations that others have had for us, playing the roles we thought we had to play. And we got to stop that. We got to decide for ourselves and instead start writing your story. You get to say where you're going, and you get to decide who are the characters in your story. You are the main character, not just a character in someone else's story. You might be a character in someone else's story, but that doesn't mean you don't have your own, right? And finally, of course, is to cultivate your squad. Everything that we have been talking about this week, from the discovering yourself, dumping the junk, and now designing your ideal life, has all been about making sure you're cultivating your squad, and cultivating your squad is a part of that. All right, so here we go. We're diving into design your ideal life. We're going to begin putting the plan in place. Well, that's a lot of P's to design your ideal life. I'm super excited to jump in this with you guys. It is a very fun one. Like I said, we could dive in more with personal brand and some of that stuff, but today we're just going to focus on getting you started. Why is this important to cultivating your squad? Well, having clarity of vision. When you have a clear vision of what your ideal life looks like, you can better identify the people who align with your goals and values. The clarity helps you attract and build a squad that supports and motivates you towards achieving your dreams. This is so true. If you do not know where you're going, you do not know who you are, your people picker will tend to be off. This happens. I've done it. I've seen it. It happens all the time. And making sure that you know where you're going and you put people around you who can support that. Oh my gosh, you can fly and soar. So important. Motivation and inspiration. We're going to talk about creating a vision board today, a digital one, but creating a vision board and setting goals for your ideal life can be incredibly motivating. Sharing these aspirations with your squad fosters a supportive environment where everyone encourages each other to stay focused and driven. This collective inspiration propels the entire group towards personal growth and success. You know, if you are with people who are not growing, you can still grow because we're capable. We're able to do a lot. We can do so many things. But if you don't have anyone around you who is encouraging you and motivating you, it can very easily continue to pull you down. And oh man, look at this. I got the 3 on here again. Darn it. I was so determined to have it right on the last time, but that's okay. At least I changed the videos. But it is really important to have people around you who will support you, who will cheer you on, who will collaborate, who will be extremely excited for you for the things that you do. And hey, sometimes I've even said, hey, I think as a friend group, we should do this. And we do. And it's so much fun. It's way more fun to work on something and a goal when you have others around you who are doing it as well than it is to try and do it all by yourself, at least in my opinion. And finally, alignment and support. Knowing what you want out of life allows you to surround yourself with individuals who share similar aspirations or who complement your journey. A well-defined ideal life helps you to cultivate a squad that provides emotional, practical, and motivational support, ensuring that everyone in the group is aligned and working towards their best selves. Oh, this is something we have worked really hard with in Gals, actually. You know, we aren't perfect. We don't try to say that we have it all figured out, but something we do have figured out is helping each other out. Because as we've said before, it's not if you're going to go through something, it's when. Also, it's not if you want to grow in life. Hopefully, that's just a given. It's when you want to grow, what you want to do, how you want to do it, and then maybe saying, hey, you want to come along with me? It's awesome. All right. So let's jump into our pages for today. So these will obviously be sent to you if you are registered and you're getting our emails. So, and there are going to be a couple of surprises in there just for those who registered this today. So I want to make sure that you know to check your emails. So with this particular topic, we had at the beginning of the week, we actually had a meditation to kind of get your mindset in the right place for the entire challenge. Today, I've put together a meditation that is going to help you really think through what does success look like to you. I love this because what I found was that I was allowing other people to define what success looks like for me. And when I really look through and I look through all the different categories, which we'll talk about in just a minute, of life, I recognized that, I like having a nice house. I do. But could I be a person who would be content without one? Yeah, I could. And I have. I've had to rent. We've had tiny little places that we couldn't do anything with. We've been there and we've done that. And guess what? I was happy in that time too. So it didn't make me less happy to be in a smaller place. It didn't make me feel less successful to be in a smaller place. In fact, quite frankly, our next move, what we have talked about, might be a smaller place because it's just the two of us and our dog. And quite frankly, I don't like extra cleaning. So we might do something smaller. So letting other people define what success looks like for you is definitely not a way you want to go, because believe me, they will define it for you. All you have to do is turn on social media and look and see what people are saying that they're doing and how they're being successful and how they're doing this. I made $50,000 in 1 month and blah, blah, blah. There's so much noise out there that if you don't determine for yourself what success looks like, everybody's going to be tugging at you. Oh, this is success. This is success. This is success. You don't want that. So this particular QR code leads to a video that is a meditation to really help you just take a little bit of time. It's not super long. It's like 7 minutes. You don't have to lay down. You could be sitting. You can do whatever you want. But what I do want you to do is just allow yourself to really close your eyes and really take a minute and visualize, what does success look like for me? And it really doesn't matter what age you are for this. I mean, I'm 43 and I plan on having probably another 40 years. You might be in your 50s or your 60s. My mentor who passed away in January, even though he, passed away, he passed away quickly just this time last year, he was still planning for 20 years. And guess what? Yeah, he didn't get that. But do you think his life was better because he was thinking that way? You better believe it. So it's important to do this. It keeps you young, it keeps you vibrant, and it keeps you having vitality in your life. I think it's really important. All right. So let's talk about the wheel of life a little bit. I thought, real quickly, I'm just going to look and see. Okay. Nope. So in that meditation, I think we talk a little bit, and I'm just going to talk about it right now. We talked about the fairy life. Oh, I think we just talked about that a minute ago. What is your overall arching, what you want? But then we talked about what you want in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, legacy, etc. This particular tool is one that's going to break that down even further. So I don't really want you to jump into this particular tool unless you are at a place where you're like, everything in my life is absolutely just crazy town right now. Then you might want to jump into this and you might want to just like fix some things. Sometimes you need a therapeutic like enhancement of this work. However, when we're talking about future life planning, what you want to do with this is you do want to look at the bigger picture, and we're going to break that down. So this is a really great tool that can just help you to gauge where you're at. And I will not lie, this is not a unique to me tool. It is actually, the first time I heard about it was from Zig Ziglar, but I love it. I think it's a great tool. Now, you'll see here on the left, and you guys will have these in your workbook, that this is the Wheel of Life. Like I said already, it's nothing new. It is used as a tool in many coaching programs. You have the categories, and you get to decide where you're at on the scale. And I've seen some with like thorough questions to help you decide where you're at. I'll be honest, for me, that's just too much. I can pretty much say, okay, I'm probably like a 5 in health. In friends right now, I'm probably like a 4. I got to keep working on that. Relationships, my husband particularly, we're at like a freaking 9. We're having a great time. Recreation, I'd probably put that at a 4. I could work on that. Spirituality, I'm again kind of a 4. Career, I'm feeling like I'm at like a 6 or 7. There's room for improvement. I'm growing. I'm doing new things, trying new stuff. So, that's okay. Finances, I'd put us at like a 5. We're not perfect. We're working on getting out of debt again, but we're making good income. We're making good decisions. We're investing. We're doing a lot of things where I'm like, we're not at a 0. So not like we were the first time we got out of debt. We were at like a -5. So we're in a much better place. Personal growth, I'm always growing and learning, and I'm always trying to do new things. So I'd probably put myself somewhere at 8 or 9. So you can, like, if you want to, you can use AI or you can look up questions to help you answer these. But I really personally think you probably know. So don't overthink it. Okay. So here's what a sample one usually looks like. It's already filled out. It's already got the categories. But here's the problem that I always had with this. My life categories are very different than your coach, guru, expert type person. They're usually, it's changing, but back when I first saw this, it was usually a man, type A personality, or a disc, he would be an I or D. And so it was stuff that just didn't fit with me. I was a mom with little kids. I had, was homeschooling. I was a leader in certain things. And so, while this is generalized stuff, this would be cool to do with my husband, and we could kind of figure that stuff out as a couple. But I really needed to fill out my own categories. There were certain things like my home, being organized, or I love having a decorated home, actually. Health is really broad. I need mental health. I also need physical health. I really needed even food. I know that falls in the health category, but there was a time when I needed to cook a lot, or I needed to figure out some different things based on, the allergies that my kids had. And so being able to actually put in the things I needed to put in, I had to work at one time, but then I also had a volunteer position at one time. So I wanted it to reflect the things that were actually important in my life that I actually wanted to work on. So there you go. So I put a blank one in there as well. You can use either one. It's totally up to you. There's no judgment here. This is do what works for you. All right. So fill this out, color it in, print it out, color it in where you're at. I actually suggest doing this like every 6 months. This is a really great tool to help you keep on track of, reaching the things that you want to reach. And here's the thing. It's the little habits that we do on a daily basis that you do today that are going to get you where you want to be in that 10-year period. If we think that we're all of a sudden just going to, like, I don't even know what one of your goals might be, but I know for me, if I think that I'm just going to magically start traveling, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to wait until we're 9 years down the road and then say, oh yeah, we should travel. There's so many things that have to happen before we can make that like a huge priority in our life. We have to probably downsize. We either got to rent out this home or sell it. We've got to figure out what we're going to do with our dog, what locations are friendly, like what kind of travel can we do? We've got to get our passports. Like there's so much to do with just that one topic. So if I think that I'm going to wait on that goal till we're so close to that time period, it's not going to happen. Even moving here to Utah took us 2 years. It was not just an all of a sudden thing. We started looking at states that we wanted to live in. We figured out what criteria we had for states. We actually printed out a map and we had 10 top states that we wanted based on those criteria. One of my criteria, it's kind of silly, but it's true. Maybe you guys saw it on Facebook, was how many rattlesnakes am I going to see in an area? I really want to know. Now, while we did move to a place that has rattlesnakes, I was told that they don't see very many. They see them from time to time, but my husband wanted hiking and biking. And so we kind of, we're making this work. I have yet to see a rattlesnake, so we're okay. But that was some of our criteria. My husband wanted hiking and biking. I wanted not too extreme of weather, stuff like that. And so we narrowed it down to 10 states, put out our resumes. My husband got a job here, so he was traveling back and forth for 9 months while we sold our old house. So you can see how, even just something like that takes time. So getting yourself to a place when you have these overall goals where you can start to do little steps to make you move forward in that is very, very helpful. Okay, I think I talked your ear off on that one. So once you have taken this, you've filled it out. Let's say you've filled this out and you see, okay, I've got a few things that I'm doing really great in. Maybe I've got a couple that, oh my gosh, if I don't work on these, they're going to explode. Maybe you've got some that are kind of middle. I don't know where you're at on your own life wheel, but I can tell you when I did this the very first time, I'm pretty sure I had probably 3 out of, however many categories there are, 10, 3 out of 8. There we go. 8 that were going to explode. So I needed work immediately. But what you want to do is from this, you're going to take 3 things. That's it. Just 3. Now, granted, yes, you'll kind of work on everything a little bit. It happens. That's how we are. Because now that you recognize it, you're going to be able to be like, oh yeah, I should probably stop, I don't know, screaming at my husband, whatever that is, finding all the negative, right? Or I should start, training my children differently, whatever that looks like. But for focus, I just want you to take 3. Those 3 categories, and you get to choose. You know what? Yeah, maybe you do have a category that's about to explode, and I would probably suggest working on that one. However, you get to decide. If your finances are just at a place where you're like, I just can't even look at it, it is going to explode. I already know it. I would suggest working on that one. However, if you decide not to, maybe you're just that far gone that you're like, whatever. It's going to be what it's going to be. There's nothing I can do. And we've been there too, where it was like, okay, great. Yeah, we've recognized this is going to happen and we're going to make action, but it ain't going anywhere for about 2 years. So yeah, we'll focus on it and we'll get the work done, but it is what it is. Our credit score was crap. I mean, yeah, it didn't matter. It was what it was. So take those 3 and take those categories and put them into these little boxes right here. Let's say you decide finances, maybe you want to work on your relationship with your spouse, and maybe you want to work on parenting. I don't know. Then you're going to take 1 to 3 things. I suggest 1. I went ahead and went up to 3 just in case you want to do 3. Do not do more than 3 things. Guys, that means you're doing 3 categories. If you're doing 3 things in each thing, that's 9 things to be focusing on. That is a lot. And 1, you probably don't have time for that. 2, it's really hard to actually focus. And quite frankly, I will tell you, if you're going with that many things, you might drive your family a little crazy. Just saying. So pick 1, 2, 3 things. Really going to say stay as close to 1 as you can. On if maybe you pick 3 here, 1 here, and I don't know, 2 here. Just try to do a few things. It's amazing how doing just a few things will help the other things as well. Now, there is a whole book, and I've read it. It's a really good one called The One Thing. And I will say, now that we've got things a little bit more settled down in our lives, I'm able to say each day, okay, what is the one thing I need to do today that if I do this thing, everything else is going to fall into place. A lot of times those are the harder actions to do. I won't lie. I'm not going to say it's an easy one. It's like making that hard phone call, reaching out to that person, maybe having a conversation that I need to, have been delaying. They're not always the easy tasks to do, but if you do them, everything else is going to be just fine. And quite frankly, they're usually the ones that you have the most anxiety about. So they're stressing you out. They're making you not able to sleep. They're doing a lot of other things. So just get them done. But when you start to take those things off of your list, oh my gosh, it is amazing how much peace and clarity you begin to have. And then you can start working on the other things. It's a lot like a home. A roof is never fun to replace, right? Because it doesn't do anything fun for the look of the house. Like me, I love pretty projects. I love to make my space look beautiful. But a roof doesn't do that for me. However, if it's leaking, it's going to create water damage. It's going to be creating all kinds of other issues. So if I just keep letting it leak and I'm taking care of other things, then who cares? Because I'm having a big old huge hole or leak in my house, which is going to completely deteriorate. It's going to mess with the structure. It's going to make it not a great home, right? I've got to work on that thing that is most important. If I take care of the roof, which I know is expensive, it takes time, it's not the funnest thing to do, but everything else inside the home kind of takes like a back burner. It does fine. I mean, yeah, your walls still aren't going to paint themselves, but if you don't fix it, you're not going to have walls. So it's a kind of important thing to think through. Now, this is a little bit different than what I'm talking about here on this. You get to choose what you want to do. But again, I really think it's important to think about some of those things that maybe are just blaring and obvious and a sore thumb in your life that you could take care of. Okay, we made it through all of this. So these are your steps. And one thing that I'm going to share with you is, yay, this actually goes right into our next thing. Congratulations. So since this is our first challenge, and, this is always how it goes, you have a few people that sign up. We decided that because we are going to give everyone who registered, we're going to send it in your email. You're going to get our grand prize. So our grand prize, this challenge, and it's going to change with every challenge. It's how we do it, all of that. It will always change. It'll always be different. But we decided, we're like, you know what? We've got the capacity that we could give this to each person who signed up with email. So it's going to be in your email. This is covering QR codes that will be in your email when I send it to you. We have a fun new walkthrough that walks you through using AI to come up with visuals in Canva to create a fun digital vision board. Now, what I love about this, because I know we've got a lot of people in our community that love vision boards, and cutting out and doing all the stuff is really fun. So I am not saying this is going to replace that at all. However, those take time. And what I would really love to see people doing more of is this more regularly. Using AI and then Canva. AI is not giving you your answers. It's just giving you image ideas so that you can put those into Canva and quickly create what you want to create. It's really neat. I did it today. It's very fun. When I was creating this walkthrough. So we have a video in there that is a video on how to use the AI walkthrough. And then we have a video on how to use Canva to create it. This is going to be a course that we are going to sell for $28. You guys are getting this as part of your grand prize. And then the other thing that we're going to be giving you, I'm actually really excited about this. I love doing these. I do these a lot. This is what I do on a day-to-day basis, is we're going to gift you a 1-hour power session with me that is focused on your ideal life goals. And what we can usually do with that is not only can we train you a beautiful, wonderful thread that you can use to continue this work, and it's going to like seriously enhance the work that we talked about today. If you've ever wanted an advisor in your life, that's what this is going to be. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited, guys. I can't even tell you. So again, there will be a QR code and a discount code for getting this from me for as a gift. This is a $348 value. So these two things are our grand prizes this week. And usually I wait till like the last day to give this out, but because this goes so beautifully with today's topic, I could not wait. I had to give it to you today. I might still throw in a fun goodie to make sure you guys join us tomorrow if you're able, but this is what you got. So yay. Here, let me get my pom-poms. Woohoo. Go team, go team. You got this. Yeah. Okay, girls, ladies, you got this. Okay. So make sure though, this 1-hour power session, the booking abilities are open for 3 weeks. I'm going to be in Vegas on the second week, so I extended it to a third week. You obviously can't book while I'm in Vegas because I've closed that out, but you can book for with me. But do reach out if for some reason you're not seeing a time that works for you, okay? So make sure you let me know because I want to get you in soon. The only week that I've got blocked out, like I said, is that week in Vegas. So you can let me know. All right. And then finally, of course, let's have some fun. Woohoo. So we've got our scavenger hunt going on in gals. This was totally by mistake. I just didn't notice the dates were the same, but that's fine. This has been a lot of fun. I've seen interaction on here. I love it. Today's challenge is to share your favorite dance song. And so that way we can dance together. And hey, if you happen to take a selfie while you're dancing, you get bonus points. There's not, I mean, we were keeping points for the grand prize, but like I said, we just decided to give it to you guys who registered. So, but still have some fun with us. Why not post your favorite song? And if you feel like posting a selfie, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But we want to have some fun together because girls just want to have fun, right? All right, we are at the end. So what we would love to know, this will be on a thread inside of our Facebook page, so you can go and answer it and interact with us. But what was your aha moment from today's video? I know we just plowed right through it. It was a lot of information in a very short amount of time. However, hopefully you got something out of this. And I would encourage you, go do that meditation. Go do the workbook pages and let's do this work together. I'm super excited to have you guys join us. Like I said, we'll be opening up the signature self process and the Ignite Your Spark process with Patty Lynn and myself in the gals community very soon. So you will get a chance to do this deeper if you are one of our gal ambassadors. For GalaCon, you're actually going to get this as a part of what we are doing with you. So that is very exciting. I cannot wait to have you in there with us and to do this work together. So woohoo, yay. All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining me again for another amazing day. I absolutely love this time together. I have to tell you, I have been so energized every day to create new things, have fun, and I won't lie. It's been a difficult challenge. Every day I have been like just barely finishing because I'm so excited to create these fun things for you to be able to do. The signature self process has been around for a while, but what I've been creating using AI and Canva has been stuff that is all new. And so you guys are getting all new materials and stuff during this challenge. I hope you feel inspired about the possibilities that lie ahead of you. And I hope that you are motivated to take action in creating your ideal life with this challenge All right, ladies, until tomorrow, with love and pom-poms, I will see you hopefully tomorrow. All right. Live creatively, friends. Bye.